Good morning, dear cadets. So in this way I have completed the colloidal solutions, means surface chemistry is completed. There is one question before proceeding to the P block elements. It is better to discuss one question. Colloids are state of substance. Explain it. This is the statement. Colloids are state of substance. Okay. So there are the different stages. Don't think that it is the physical property. Colloids are the state of substance. Explain it. So just try to understand. Answer also I wrote here. Colloids are state of substance because it depends on the concentration of substance. It depends on the concentration of substance. Just try to understand. You take a small amount of soap solution and add that one to the water. It will behave just like a crystalloids. Crystalloids means ionic compound containing ion. Okay. But same soap, if their concentration is more in the water, it will behave like a colloids. It will behave like a colloids. Okay. So substance is same only, soap only. So when the soap concentration is less in the water, it behaves like a crystalloids. But when the concentration of soap is more in the water, it behaves like a colloids. So it depends on concentration. That is why it is a state of substance. It is a state of substance. Another example also you can take. NaCl, sodium chloride. When limited concentration of NaCl is taken in the water. So what is the NaCl? NaCl will form crystalloids in water. But same NaCl when mixed with the alcohol, it behaves like a crystalloids. So what is the meaning? It behaves like a colloid. Means NaCl will have a crystalloids property when it is mixed with water. But same NaCl will behave like a colloids when it is mixed with alcohol. Only solvent we have changed. That is why this sentence is absolutely correct that colloids are the state of substance. They are the states of substance. They are not a different physical state of substance. They are the state of substance. They are not the physical state of the substance. Means they may be solid, they may be liquid, they may be gas. Different types of colloidal solution you have got. In this way, colloidal means surface chemistry is completely completed. Now let us move to the P block elements. So just try to understand. Now first I would like to give you brief idea about the classification of elements on the basis of block. On the basis of block, periodic table. So dear cadets, now classification of elements in the periodic table. So in the periodic table, you will get 4 types of element. First one is the S block elements. Group number 1 and 2. Total 2 groups belongs to the S block elements. Okay. So why they are known as S block elements? Because their last electron enters in S block. So group number 1 and 2, they are known as S block elements. Now what about P block elements? P block elements starting from group number 13 to 18. So how many groups are there? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Total 6 groups are there. How many groups? 6 groups are there. D block elements. So D block elements, group number 3rd to 12. How many groups are there? 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Okay. So total how many groups are there? 10 groups are there. How many groups? 10 groups are there. 10 groups. So if you count 10 plus 6, 16 to 18. So the total number of group is here total number of group in the periodic table. Total number of group is 18. How many groups are there? 18 groups are there. Okay. And just below the periodic table, there are one more category of elements. They are known as F block elements. What is this one? F block elements. So these F block elements, actually they have not divided into groups. Two horizontal series are there. Two horizontal series. Okay. One is known as actinides. F block elements, they are known as, you can write in this way. First one is actinides. First you note down lanthanides. Another one is actinoids. So just see, lanthanides start from Ce58 to Lu71. Cerium 58 to lutetium 71. What is the total number of elements? 14 elements. Okay. Now similarly, actinides, they start from thorium 90 to lawrencium 103. Here also, what is the total number of elements? 14 elements. So remember here, the name is lanthanides and actinides, but lanthanum is not a member of lanthanides. Similarly, actinium is not a member of actinides. So this is the complete classification. Now here D block elements, just try to understand. There are some more important information. Just see, S block elements, they are the metals. Strong metals. Now P block elements, mostly they are the strong non-metals. So in between S block and P block, D block elements are placed. Of course I wrote here in third number, but actually between S and P block, D block elements are there. Just see, group number 1 to 2, that is S block elements. Similarly, group number 13 to 18, P block element is there. So after second group, which group will come? Group number third will come, and this group number third to 12, that is known as D block elements. So D block elements are the connective link between S block and P block elements, and it is justified also. Just see, the another name of D block element is transition element. Transition elements. What is the meaning of transition elements? The meaning of transition elements, which shows the gradual change from one place to another place, or which can shows gradual change from one property to another property. So S block elements are the strong metals, P block elements are the strong non-metals. So directly how can we jump from strong metal to strong non-metal? So D block element shows the gradual change from most metallic property to most non-metallic property. That is why they are known as transition elements. And these are arranged in 4 transition series. How many transition series? 4 transition series. That is first transition series, first transition series. Okay, this first transition series. Next one is, okay, I will write in the short, that is known as first transition series. First transition series. Okay, this is second transition series. Second transition series. This one is known as third transition series. And this is known as fourth transition series, and fourth transition series is incomplete. What is this one? This is incomplete. Still elements can be included in this series. Now try to understand here. Lanthanides, they are found inside the third transition series. Okay, third transition series. They are found in, means actinides is found in fourth transition series. Now try to understand. Lanthanide is found inside the third transition series. Actinides are found inside the fourth transition series. That is why F block elements are known as inner transition elements. What are they? They are known as inner transition elements. Okay, so this is all about the introduction of classification of elements in the periodic table. And now let us come back to the syllabus point of view. Just see, S block elements you have studied in 11th class. Okay, completely you have studied S block elements. Okay, P block elements, just try to understand. Group number 13 and 14 you have studied in 11th class. So in the syllabus of 12th class, from group number 15 you have to study. Okay, now D block also you have to study this year only, means group number 3rd to 12th this year only you will study. F block elements also you will study. So in your syllabus this is not there, means in 12th class syllabus this is not there, and two groups of P block elements are not given, that is group number 13 and 14. 15 onwards it is there. So dear cadets, now P block elements. So P block elements. Okay. So just see. Group number 13. This is known as boron family. Last year only you studied this one, boron family. Group number 14, this is known as carbon family. Okay, last year you studied this one, 11th class syllabus. Okay, now group number 15, this is known as nitrogen family. Okay, now group number 16, this is known as oxygen family. What is this one? Oxygen family. Next one is group number 17, this is known as halogen. What is this one? Halogen. Now group number 18. Group number 18. This is known as noble gas. Or inert gas. So these groups means total 4 groups you have to study in 12th class syllabus. Okay, how many groups? 4 groups you have to study. So let us begin with group number 15 today itself. Okay, so try to understand here. Group number 15, what are the members of group number 15? Just see here. So dear cadets, now let us begin with the 15th group elements, that is known as nitrogen family. There one more name is there, nectogens. What is this one? Nectogens. अब just try to understand. This necto, P is silent. Okay. So what is the meaning of this one? I am writing this side. Just see. It is made up of two words. First one is NICTO, necto. Next one is gens. Okay. Gens. Necto means to choke. What is this one? To choke. And gens means generator. Generator. Okay. So 15th group's elements are choking or respiratory system. That is why they are known as nectogens. Okay. Just you might have heard about one disease. What is the name of that disease? Asthma. In asthma, what is there? Just see. If you go to the doctor, they will tell you that some allergy is there. Means in the environment or atmosphere, there are certain elements which are causing allergic infection in your trachea, or you can say respiratory tract. Okay. And those elements, they choke your respiratory tract. And those elements belongs to this group only. That is why this group elements are known as nectogens. P is silent. Nectogens. Necto means to choke. What is this one? To choke. Okay. And gens means generator. Means they are respiratory system chokers. They are elements of respiratory system chokers. That is why they are known as nectogens. What are the name of elements? The name of element is nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Now try to understand nitrogen and phosphorus. They are found in our atmosphere in abundance. Their percentage is more as compared to arsenic, antimony and bismuth. So arsenic, antimony and bismuth, they are found in the trace quantity. They are not in large quantity. There are some more information regarding these groups element, and you should note down also, because in one marks question what they will ask, nobody can predict it. So I am trying from my side to cover all those aspects, means keeping in mind those pattern of question. So just see, mostly nitrogen is inert when it is in the form of dinitrogen. Do you know that nitrogen, generally nitrogen we are telling, but IUPAC says that it is not nitrogen, it is dinitrogen, because its formula is N2. Similarly, we are telling oxygen. Actually, according to IUPAC system, it is dioxygen, not hydrogen, dihydrogen, because their molecular formula is H2O2 and N2 respectively. Okay, so mostly nitrogen is inert when it is in the form of dinitrogen. Okay, next one is phosphorus is found in the compound form. Okay, compounds of nitrogen is also known, but their compounds are not very much stable. Even if they are stable, so they are stable in the gaseous form. But the compound of phosphorus is very much stable. Now phosphorus compounds, these are the name. First one is Ca3PO4 whole thrice. This is known as phosphorite. And see, phosphorus is mostly found in our bones, and phosphorus present in our bones in this form only. Bone ash, you might have heard. In the bone ash, this compound is only present. Next one is chloropeptide. This is Ca5PO4 whole thrice Cl. This is Ca5PO4 whole thrice F, fluorapatite. Next one is hydroxyapatite, Ca5PO4 whole thrice OH. So just see, if you see carefully, now it is very easy to remember their formula. Just see, Ca3PO4 whole twice, that is phosphorite. Ca5PO4 whole thrice is common in chloropatite, fluorapatite and hydroxyapatite. If chlor is there, means after this one Cl will be there. If fluor is there, fluorine will be there. If hydroxy is there, OH is there. Okay. So try to understand the compound of phosphorus is very important for us. They are not only found in the compound form, they are found in our bones, they are found in our teeth, and not only this one, they are found in our genetic material like DNA and RNA. Just see in DNA and RNA what is there? What are the components of DNA? The component of DNA is nitrogenous base, then deoxyribose sugar and phosphate bond. So in phosphate bond, phosphorus is only there. Same is the way with RNA. In RNA, ribose sugar is there, nitrogenous base is there, and then phosphatic bonds are there. So phosphorus is present. Some other information regarding this group element is bismuth is the only radioactive elements in this group. Another thing is mostly the bismuth, arsenic and antimony, they are mostly found in the sulfide forms only. Sulfide form means their sulfide compounds are more stable, and in the nature they are found in this form only. So this is all about the introduction of 15th group elements. The most important information is you should remember the name of elements of 15th group. What are the names of these elements? Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. Now try to understand. You can remember in this way also. New Zealand, Pakistan, Australia, sab bimar. For remembrance, it is easy way. One more important information, this one. The name of Sb is antimony, but symbol is Sb because its Latin name is stevia. Okay, correct. So remember this one, this also. In this way the introduction is over. Now let us move to the physical trends in physical properties. So now dear cadets, now trends in physical properties. So under physical properties, first I will teach you the electronic configuration. Okay, so first name the elements: nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. So just see 7, 15, 33, 51, now 83. It's okay. So just see how you will write the electronic configuration. First S2, 2S2, 2P, 2P5, 2P3, 2P3. Okay, 7 are there or not? Now here what is there? First S2, 2S2, 2P6, 3S2, 3P3. Okay, count 10, 12, 15. Now what about this one? First S2, 2S2, 2P6, 3S2, now 3P6. Then after 3P what is there? 4S2, now 4P, just count this one, 10, 12, 18. So after 3P what will come? After 4S what will come? 3D10, then 4P3. Just count this one, what is there? You can write 3D before, there is no problem at all. You can write in this way. Write down here 3D, here 4S. Always remember 3D can be written before 4S, but filling should be this one first, 4S. So 4S to 10. Just count here 10, 12, 18, 28, 30, 33. Correct? Now next one is, what is this one? First S2, 2S2, 2P6, 3S2, 3P6, 3D10. Next one is 4S2. Then what is there? 4P6. After 4P, what is there? 4P. You can make that line, that first S, then 2S. Very easily you will come to know. Then 4S2, 4P6. Then what is there? 5S, 5s2, then what is there, 4d10. After you write here 4d10, 5s2, 5p3, just count here, 10, 12, 18, 28, 30, 36, 46, 48, 51. Okay, that is there. Now same way here also it will be very big. Just see, first s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10, 4s2, 4p6, 4d10, 5s2, 5p6. After 5p what should be there, 4f14, then what is there, 6s2 and 6p3. just count here, 10, 12, 18, 28, 30, 36, then 36, 46, 48, 54, 54 plus 14, that is 68, 68 and 2 70, 73. Now somewhere is I am missing, what is that one, 4f14, 6s2, 6p3. So dear cadets, bismuth is like that, just try to understand. First s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10, 4s2, 4p6, 4d10, 5s2, 5p6, 6s2. After 6s2 what should be there, 4f, 5d and 6p. You do one thing, at the end I will show you that you should make like that, this diagram I made this side, I will show you, and accordingly you should fill. Now this is a cumbersome process, so don't worry, it is very easy and you can do now, and you should follow this one only. Just write the inert gas, and after writing inert gas just you fill the remaining electron. Just see, it is very easy. Just remember, nitrogen, write down here helium, and here write neon, here helium neon, here what is there, argon, here what is there, krypton, and here what is there, xenon. Okay, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. So writing helium means already you have written 2 electron, because helium electronic configuration is 2. So what is this one, 2s2, 2p3, here what is there, 3s2, 3p3, 10 and 3 to 5, and here also what is there, here 3d10, 4s2, 4p3, here what is there, 4d10, then 5s2, 5p3, here what is there, 4f14, 5d10, 6s2, 6p3. Now just see, here 2 electron, here 10 electron, here 18 electron, here 36 electron, here 54 electron. So 54 plus 14, what is the total number of electron now? 68, 78, 280, 83. Absolutely correct. Now in this way you should write, and at the end I will show you how to write the electronic configuration. That above principle is there, you should remember that one. So ultimately their general electronic configuration is general electronic configuration. Their general electronic configuration is ns2 np3. ns2 np3 means they have got 5 electron in their outermost cell, ns2 np3. just you remember this one. So thank you for today. So dear cadets, I hope that you are watching this one, Afbau principle, that you should follow this rule only, first S2, 2S2 like that. Then you will not forget the writing the electronic configuration. And always remember that this unit is based on electronic configuration only. Thank you.